So Bob, here we are in Vegas, channel partners. You're no stranger to big conventions like this. So I'm at Spectratel, and we have the managed mobility. And one of the components of managed mobility is often one of the most overlooked. Everyone's excited about getting the new devices. They're excited about MDM and wireless expense management and stage kitting, but no one really thinks about what happens when that tech refresh occurs. And now you're looking at a palette of hundreds, if not thousands, of old tablets or smartphones. What's your thoughts on that in terms of the business opportunity, and why should trusted advisors and technology consultants be aware of the opportunity there?
No, you're making a great point, and there are probably 10,000 people at this show, and the very, 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 very large majority of them have no idea what happens to these used devices. Some, if you ask them, will tell you they think they wind up in a landfill or shredded or something of that nature, which a small portion of them do. But the used phone business is called the secondary device market now. And it applies to more than just phones, tablets, and wearables. It applies to a lot of other tech as well. But on the mobile side, it's a $30 billion global
With a B.
industry. $30 billion with a B, that's correct. And it's a global industry. Because our old tech still is state-of-the-art somewhere in the world. I'll give you an example. In Indonesia, there are people that will wait in line at retail stores to buy a used BlackBerry device. Whether it has BlackBerry OS or an Android OS, they still love that product. Some of the Central American companies, or countries I should say, will still buy iPhone 4s and 5s because you have people making $3 to $4 a day. That's all that they can afford are those types of devices.
Right.
So it's still very new, and those carriers don't offer those devices free. I'm sorry, when you sign up for service, because they know that their subscribers can't afford it. So they allow them to bring pretty much any device they want to and activate it on their networks. So it's a total BYOD marketplace.
Right.
They're just providing the pipe and the service, and the customers have to supply their own phone in a lot of cases.
And so that's really meeting the need of any part of our humanity. That's beautiful. But isn't there how about the devices that are not usable? They're trashed. I mean, are there financial opportunities there for even recycling and repurposing the parts?
Well, really what happens in that industry is it all starts with grading. So a device comes back, they're going to look at the make, model, gigabyte size, physical condition. They're going to test the operating system, all that other related part of the process to determine if the device has resale value. If it doesn't, there's a part out process. So unless the device is too old, which is generally about fourth or fifth generation, it gets to a point where those parts will no longer have value, and the best thing that can be done is for them to be shredded, smelted, destroyed in some way, shape, or form. But the whole industry is very committed to reuse. That's a big part of this, is how do we reuse this? Now, there is that monetization component. As I said, it's a $30 billion global industry. There are a lot of people out there. There are big companies that are making over $1 billion with a B annually buying, repairing, and reselling used mobile devices. That's their entire business.
And I've been having this conversation with companies that have thousands of devices. They're working with one of the top 3 carriers in the U.S., and they're like, when I ask a question, I'm like, hey, we get it for 99 cents, or we get it for free. We don't care what happens to them.
Right.
So that's why you start to see just stacks them, because they don't know they're sitting on a gold mine.
Well, not only that, and a lot of companies, because they got them for free from the carriers or for almost free, they're not looking to bring money back. Sometimes they can't even bring money back for it because it's like, no, we can't profit from something we got for free, so we have no way to bring that money back. Smarter organizations in the space now are coming back to those same clients in the enterprise space and saying, let's give you carbon credits instead of cash, since you can't take cash. Because if you have stated carbon neutral goals, this will help you achieve them a little bit faster by giving you carbon credits for any of these used devices you turn in and don't want money for. And at the same time, you're doing something that's useful for the environment, because devices like phones, laptops, routers, servers, and tablets are some of the more awful things to put into the environment.
Right.
From a standpoint of the damage that they can do. So, trying to keep them in use is important environmentally, but financially, there's just big upside there. Some of these devices can fetch, used devices, $1,200, $1,500, $1,800 for one device, depending on the age, make, model, condition of the device.
Wow.
So, it's a big business that a lot of folks in the channel just aren't aware of, and there's opportunity to monetize it. Some have been trying to do it on their own, bringing a depot into play and trying to spin up a location and learn that business. The ones I've talked to that have done it can't make money on it. They don't understand it. They don't know how to do it. And I've suggested they partner instead, because you can work with a partner who understands that space and how to monetize it and do a revenue share with them. You stay in your lane, they stay in their lane. You still can provide it as a solution to your clients and generate incremental revenue, but you're not chasing down that whole panacea concept of trying to be all things to all people, which ultimately, I work as a business advisor. I've seen more companies commit suicide that way than anything else. They're just trying to do too much.
So on that note, in closing, Bob, Capital Growth Partners co-founder, are you mobility secondary only, or what else? What else can you do for? What's an ideal customer look like for you, and what do you guys do on a day-to-day basis?
We do a lot of different things. Most of us come from mobility, telecom, cable, channel, different industries like that. So what we try to do is we try to be more vertically focused and serve those channels, because we can leverage not only tribal knowledge, but we can leverage lifetime relationships. For an old guy like me in my 60s, I have a literal lifetime of relationships with people.
Yeah.
I can pick up the phone and call senior executives, business owners, and CEOs of companies that my clients want to work with and help accelerate that success if it's a business development project. But we're doing anything from M&A advisory on buy side and sell side, helping raise capital for early stage companies, exit strategies, organizational development, making sure we get the right people in the right seats, right? So that the business can operate more efficiently. Or business development or go-to-market strategies. That's all a part of it. We're trying to solve those business problems. So we're not getting into the tech. There's plenty of other people that are better qualified for that than us. So we're really just trying to focus. Yeah, I do. And we bring those people in when necessary. But we're trying to solve the real business problems, because there are a lot of founder-led companies out there that, through no fault of their own, they don't know what they don't know, because they didn't have the benefit of working for larger organizations where they got a lot of cross-pollination and training in different disciplines. So oftentimes they'll grow to a certain point, hit a fork in the road, and not know which direction to go. And that's where a firm like ours comes into place. That was even the inspiration in some degree in starting up my Mobile Disrupt conference, to serve that very large, very underserved used mobility space. And we're also in the process now of starting up a trade association to further serve that same constituency.
Man, fantastic.
So really committed to that space and a lot of the parallels around it.
No, that's fantastic. Well, hey, we just scratched the surface. We covered a lot in 5 minutes. I'll have a link to your organization, and of course to our organization. We do the whole managed mobility from A to Z, from the beginning to the end. And you've been a big part of that. So I appreciate your friendship. Thanks for your time today.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, we'll catch up with you guys later. Thanks.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Appreciate it.